I was reading an article about uh, Tucker Carlson, of all people, and in the article they talked about the New York City mayor Megami, I think is his name, and Bernie Sanders, which is just a weird mix of people all together to be talked about in the same article. But the common thread was that enough wasn't enough. That their wokeness or how they were waking up or the realizations they were coming to weren't enough because it wasn't the exact way that they wanted it to be done. And it just got me thinking about how the real issue in America right now is of two things. It's that nobody is willing to be wrong, and nobody is willing to let anyone else be wrong. Everything has to be done to everyone's exact standards at all times, or it's not good enough. The sense of entitlement that has overtaken us is astronomical. And I find myself often wondering how the hell we are ever going to get ourselves out of the hole that we've dug. Because, in the most simplest way, the beliefs that you have right now, are they the beliefs that you've always had? The person you are right now, is it the person that you've always been? Because for me personally, no. The beliefs that I have right now are not the beliefs that I've always had. I was raised very religious and very Republican. My grandmother, when my parents would kick me out, would take me to church every single morning. I know all the prayers and I don't say them anymore. I don't believe in that anymore. But who I am now is not who I've always been. My first child, both of my children, honestly, I have because I didn't believe in abortion for myself. I didn't believe in abortion for anyone 12 years ago. My senior thesis was how abortion should be illegal, which is crazy. What? Why would it? What? Why is an 18-year-old writing about those things? But it doesn't change the fact that that is who I was. Those were the beliefs I've had. That is who I was raised to be. And I was wrong. And I let myself be wrong. I allow myself to acknowledge that that person was just doing what they knew, that they were just preaching what they'd learned. And I think that everyone has forgotten that life is a series of lessons. Life is a lesson, and that people are going to be wrong. And most of them, maybe that's too optimistic, but most of them will realize that they were wrong at some point in their life. Now, will they own that wrongness? That's a whole nother conversation, because owning your wrongness is hard. I've had people who have stopped being my friend for beliefs that I had as a high school teenager. I'm sure that there are people who clicked off of this video because I said that, because nobody is willing to let anyone be wrong anymore. Nobody is willing to let anyone grow or change or wake the fuck up to what the world actually is. The Tucker Carlson article I was reading was talking about how he's waking up, how he's walked away from the Republic left or the Republic right, how he is now more Republic left, how he is thinking that the whole parties need to be dismantled and broken, and he doesn't agree with the system. And then he says other crazy unhinged things, I'm sure, that I don't agree with, but he's learning, he's waking up, and now I'm fucking defending a psychopath on the internet because nobody's willing to let anyone be fucking wrong anymore. Not every take that you have is going to be the right take. Not everything that you believe in is going to be the thing that you should have believed in. Not every thought and moment of your life is going to be in the right direction. That is human nature. That is life. And how are we ever going to find a way forward if we can never see somebody on the other side as a human? And don't get me wrong, there is a difference between people who think that people don't deserve rights or human rights. There are a difference between ICE defenders and transphobic assholes who are trying to put people and children and humans in concentration camps. I'm not defending them. There is a line. But if you are coming out of a haze, if you are ex MAGA and you're afraid to say that you're ex MAGA because you know that you're going to lose people in your life, what the fuck has society come to that you're not even allowed to change your beliefs? How many people are on the other side of the aisle refusing to come to this one because we are so fucking opinionated? And if you're not correct all the time, you're wrong. And even further than that, I'm not even a leftist. I'm a scientific socialist. I'm all the way the fuck over there, as far left as you can fucking get. I'm not even in this spectrum. I'm a let's tear down society and rebuild a new one ass bitch. The only way that society can be good is by having something different. And I'm willing to be like, hey, Megami may not be doing it the way I would want to do it. Megami is still working with inside the lines. Bernie Sanders is still trying to fix something that I think is irrevocably broken, but that doesn't mean that their beliefs aren't in line with the beliefs that I have, because they are. They think that people deserve to be able to live. They think that life shouldn't be a burden. They think that housing and food should be affordable. They think you should get paid for the work that you do. They think that labor is important. They believe in the people. Is the way that they're going about it the way that I think it should be gone about? No. I think that our system is completely broken, and the only way to fix it is to completely replace it. I think of our system as a bad car accident, and when a car gets totaled, they're not going to sit there and repair it piece by piece. They're going to get you a new car. That is how I view our government. And that is not how everyone views our government. And if I only spoke to people who viewed things exactly as I viewed them, I would be the issue in society right now. Nobody is willing to be wrong. Nobody is willing to have different opinions. Nobody is willing to look at something in a different direction or light, or change it in a different way than the exact way that they see fit. Compromise doesn't exist anymore. And sure, there are things that you can't compromise on. Absolutely, I'm with you. You know, I have a trans daughter and a person of color son. I myself am non-binary. I myself have cancer. There are things that are my line in the fucking sand. There are things that either it's there or not. I agree with you or I don't, period. My queer ass isn't going to take it, you know? But also, there are people in my life who are not nearly as political as I am, who are not nearly as tear society down as I am. And does that mean that they're wrong? Does that mean that their beliefs aren't my beliefs? Does that mean that who they are in humanity is not who I am in humanity? No. And the more people who stand on their high horses and demand things to be exactly as they want it, the less chance we have of ever getting out of this fucking hole. We're all at the bottom of a trench that we did not dig, demanding things to be done differently to get out of the trench. Take a hand. A hand is a fucking hand. Not everybody needs to have every single view that you have. Not everything needs to be exactly what you think it is. And not everybody is going to be right 100% of the time. You're going to be wrong. You're going to have bad takes. People are going to say things that you don't believe in. And your options are either deal with it or have a conversation. Talk to them. Why do you think that way? What makes you believe those things? What about this is yours? What are you holding claim to? What are your actual beliefs? Because most of the time, the things that people say they believe in, the things that people say they like are sold on, is not what they're sold on. It's just the closest thing they have to relate to it. Most people don't understand what things actually are. Most people don't do hours of endless research to make sure that every single thing that they say is exactly what they mean. They just say the thing closest to what they think they mean. And if people would just have conversations, if people would just let people be wrong, we would have so many more people on our side. We are drawing lines in the sand amongst ourselves when we, the people, are the only thing that's going to make something change. Humanity is the revolution. Remembering that these are people, that other people matter, that other people are allowed to be wrong, that other takes are allowed to exist, that you're allowed to be raised different ways and change, that people grow, that things are different. That's the revolution. We are not going to change a country until we, a society, change. Nothing's going to be different if we are not different. So, yeah, it feels like there's nowhere to go. I feel like I'm backed into a corner. I feel like there's no way forward because every single person on the fucking market right now, every single person waving a flag and saying, look at me over here, I'm the solution. Fuck those guys. But like, hey, I agree with you, but also like they're not bad people either. They're just doing it differently than you would do it. And also those people over there, I think you guys might be saying the same thing that you just don't realize you're saying the same thing. And like that guy over there is also just really worried about their kid the same way that you're worried about your kid. It's just for a different reason. And why aren't you relating to them? Why is everyone making themselves an island? Why is isolation the only thing that's happening right now? And how do you move forward when every single community, every single politician, every single political take, every single thing that makes you different is standing alone on its own island, going my way or nothing? I don't want to go your way. I don't want to be stuck on an island. I don't want to be just one thing. I don't want to diminish all these other opinions and takes that are good opinions and takes and beliefs because they're not exactly mine. Because I would do it differently. Right now, America feels like I'm doing my chores as a middle schooler and my mom is telling me I don't know how to vacuum correctly. And like isn't showing me what she would like me to do, but is just telling me I'm doing it wrong. And what the fuck are we supposed to do with that? I don't know.